In the discussion of biodiversity, however, bioabundance is often ignored. A loss in bioabundance means that species are not just important for their diversity, but for their numbers. While Asian elephants may not go extinct anytime soon, their depletion in forests means that the ecosystems lose the elephant's special ecological talents such as spreading seeds and engineering microhabitats. The drop in salmon populations in the US has caused the entire freshwater ecosystem to receive less nutrients every year. Researchers estimate a nutrient drop of over 90%. This means less food for people, less salmon for predators, and a less rich river overall. Declining nutrients also makes it impossible for the salmon to rebound to optimal populations, creating a vicious circle of biodecline. Climate regulation. The natural world helps regulate the Earth's climate. Ecosystems such as rainforests, peatlands, and mangroves store significant amounts of carbon, while the ocean captures massive amounts of carbon through phytoplankton. While regulating greenhouse gases are imperative in the age of climate change, new research is showing that the world's ecosystems may also play a role in weather. A recent study found that the Amazon rainforest acted as its own bioreactor, producing clouds and precipitation through the abundance of plant materials in the forest. Economy. In the common tension viewed between the economy and the environment, e.g., do we clear-cut a forest or conserve it, one fact is often neglected: the environment underpins the entire global economy. Without fertile soils, clean drinking water, healthy forests, and a stable climate, the world's economy would face disaster. By imperiling our environment, we imperil the economy. According to research published in Science, the global worth of total ecosystem services could run between $40 to $60 trillion a year. Recent research has found what nature lovers have long expected: spending time in a green space, such as a park, provides benefits for one's mental and physical health. Exercising in a park, instead of inside a gym, has shown to provide mental health benefits as a greater sense of well-being. Walking for 20 minutes in a green space has been proven to help children with ADHD improve their concentration, even working as well, or better, than medication. People who live in more natural settings have better overall health, even when research has taken into account economic differences. Art. Imagine poetry without flowers, painting without landscapes, or film without scenery. Imagine if Shakespeare had no rose to compare Juliet to, or if William Blake had no tiger to set alight. Imagine if Van Gogh lacked crows to paint or Dürer a rhinoceros to cut. What would the Jungle Book be without Baloo, or the wind in the willows without Mr. Badger? Imagine my Antonia without the red grass of the American prairie, or Wuthering Heights without the bleak moors. How would the Lord of the Rings film series appear without the stunning mountain ranges of New Zealand, or Lawrence of Arabia without the desert of North Africa? There is no question that the natural world has provided global arts with some of its greatest subjects. What we lose in nature, we also lose in art. Spiritual. While some of what nature provides us is measurable, most of what nature gives us is simply beyond measure. Economic measurements are useful, but as with most of what happens in the world, economics is simply incapable of capturing true worth. Science is also a useful measurement regarding the importance of nature, but once again cannot measure what nature means, practically and aesthetically, to each individual. Perhaps the most difficult gift of nature's to measure is its ingrained connection to human spirituality. In most of the world's religions, the natural world is rightly revered. In Christianity, earthly paradise existed in a garden, while Noah, the original conservationist, is commanded by God to save every species. Buddhists believe all life, from the smallest fly to the blue whale, is sacred and worthy of compassion. For Hindus, every bit of the natural world is infused with divinity. Muslims believe the natural world was created by Allah and only given to humans as gift to be held in trust. Indigenous cultures worldwide celebrate the natural world as their mother. But one need not be religious to understand the importance of nature to the human spirit. One only needs spend time alone in a shadowy forest, sit on a forgotten beach, touch the spine of a living frog, or watch the quarter moon swing behind mountain silhouettes. But one need not be religious to understand the importance of nature to the human spirit. One only needs spend time alone in a shadowy forest, sit on a forgotten beach, touch the spine of a living frog, or watch the quarter moon swing behind mountain silhouettes. Back in 2000, the new Seven Wonders Foundation decided to reboot the Seven Wonders of the World concept so that the places on the list were actually still standing, organizing a global poll to determine what the new wonders would be. In light of the campaign's success, the foundation decided to tally another set of votes, which totaled over 500 million, to name the new Seven Wonders of Nature. Here's the final list. One of the most impressive water bodies on Earth, the Amazon is the longest river in South America at over 4,000 miles and has the largest drainage system on the planet, discharging roughly 4,000 cubic feet per second. Whether or not the Nile is, in fact, longer is a point of contention for some as debates rage over the Amazon's true headwaters. Surrounding the river's drainage basin, the Amazon rainforest is just as impressive, stretching out over 9 different countries and roughly 40% of Brazil's land mass. With all that space, it's no wonder the South American rainforest plays host to more species than any other bioreserve on the planet, including countless species that have yet to be recorded. Jeju Island is a volcanic island and province of South Korea that sits to the south of the peninsula between South Korea and Japan. It's where you'll find the Jeju volcanic island and lava tubes, including both the extensive Gyeongminorium lava system and Mount Halasan, the highest mountain in South Korea. Halong Bay in northern Vietnam is a popular tourist destination thanks to its gorgeous limestone karsts and floating fishing village. The landscape formed by its 1,600 to 2,000 islands and islets, most of them uninhabited, is just spectacular. Thanks to these unusual landforms, many of them still unaffected by human impact, the area became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994. The famous Iguazu Falls straddles the Iguazu River on the border between Argentina and Brazil. Its name, Iguazu, means big water in Guarani, and it seems appropriate. Made of 275 waterfalls, it's the largest waterfall system in the world. The tallest of these waterfalls, where approximately half of the river's flow falls, is called the Devil's Throat, a long, narrow, U-shaped chasm whose thunderous sound visitors never forget. Forests. The beauty of nature. The nature of man is characterized by its beauty resulting mainly from the wonderful diversity of living organisms that exist in various parts of the earth, as well as the unique terrain of mountains, water, plateaus, and forests. Each of these features is distinguished by a special beauty that distinguishes it from other terrain, and this great diversity gave people wide spaces to seek calm, tranquility, and tranquility. Man by nature is a creature eager to taste beauty, and there is nothing more beautiful than nature. The manifestations of the beauty of nature. For the beauty of nature are many manifestations. Wherever a person turns his face, he will inevitably find a manifestation of these appearances. Perhaps the most striking of these is the unique diversity in the colors around us, which created a wonderful natural painting. Other manifestations include variations in sizes, shapes, even among the creatures of the same species. On the other hand, one of the greatest manifestations of nature's beauty is the beautiful smells of certain creatures, such as flowers, and certain kinds of fruits, especially citrus, which is accompanied by seasons and certain times, like the smell of the earth after the rain. The beauty of nature around us. The beauty of nature around us is one of the greatest blessings of God on us. This beauty allows us to choose places and many destinations for the sake of rest, recreation, and the best of times. The beauty of nature has always been the first inspiration for artists and creators around the world. This is evidenced by the vast number of works of art, poetry, and music that have attracted people around the world, and which revolve around the beauty and charm of nature. The beauty of nature is an important source of income for many countries of the world. Natural places are a tourist attraction that helps countries to improve their economic level, and thus emerged many of the areas that are famous for their natural beauty unspeakable. The most prominent of these areas, the Amazon River, the Dead Sea, the Jita Grotto, Mount Teple, the Puerto Princesa River, the Iguazu Falls, and others. A global competition to select the 7 natural wonders has been held, and perhaps the most notable achievement of this list is the global spotlight on some areas that have not been so popular, thus contributing to a greater number of visitors than ever before. I declare this world is so beautiful that I can hardly believe it exists. The beauty of nature can have a profound effect upon our senses, those gateways from the outer world to the inner, whether it results in disbelief in its very existence, as Emerson notes, or feelings such as awe, wonder, or amazement. But what is it about nature and the entities that make it up that cause us, oftentimes unwillingly, to feel or declare that they are beautiful? One answer that Emerson offers is that the simple perception of natural forms is a delight. When we think of beauty in nature, we might most immediately think of things that dazzle the senses, the prominence of a mountain, the expanse of the sea, the unfolding of the life of a flower. Often it is merely the perception of these things itself which gives us pleasure, and this emotional or affective response on our part seems to be crucial to our experience of beauty. So in a way there is a correlate here to the intrinsic value of nature, Emerson says. The sky, the mountain, the tree, the animal, give us a delight in and for themselves. Most often, it seems to me, we find these things to be beautiful not because of something else they might bring us, a piece of furniture, say, or a delicacy, to be consumed, but because of the way that the forms of these things immediately strike us upon observation. In fact, one might even think that this experience of beauty is one of the bases for valuing nature. Nature is valuable because it is beautiful. Emerson seems to think that beauty in the natural world is not limited to certain parts of nature to the exclusion of others. He writes that every landscape lies under the necessity of being beautiful, and that beauty breaks in everywhere. As we slowly creep out of a long winter in the Northeast, I think Emerson would find the lamentations about what we have endured to be misguided. The inhabitants of the city suppose that the country landscape is pleasant only half the year. To the attentive eye, each moment of the year has its own beauty, and in the same field it beholds, every hour, a picture which was never seen before, and which shall never be seen again. The close observer of nature sees a river in constant flux, even when the river's water is frozen and everything appears to be static and unchanging for a time. Nature can reveal its beauty in all places and at all times to the eye that knows how to look for it. We can hear Emerson wrangle with himself on this very point in the words of this journal entry. At night I went out into the dark and saw a glimmering star and heard a frog, and nature seemed to say, well, do not these suffice? Here is a new scene, a new experience. Ponder it, Emerson, and not like the foolish world, hanker after thunders and multitudes and vast landscapes, the sea or Niagara. So if we're sympathetic to the idea that nature, or aspects of it, are beautiful, we might ask ourselves why we experience nature in this way. Emerson says that nature is beautiful because it is alive, moving, reproductive. In nature we observe growth and development in living things, contrasted with the static or deteriorating state of the vast majority of that which is man-made. More generally, he writes, we ascribe beauty to that which has no superfluous parts, which exactly answers its end, which stands related to all things. He cites natural structures as lacking superfluities, an observation that in general has been confirmed by the advancement of biology. Furthermore, he says that whether talking about a human artifact or a natural organism, any increase of ability to achieve its end or goal is an increase in beauty. So in Emerson we might find the resources for seeing evolution and the drive to survive as a beautiful rather than an ugly process, governed by laws that tend to increase reproductive fitness and that we can understand through observation and inquiry. And lastly, Emerson points to the relation between what we take to be an individual and the rest of nature as a quality of the beautiful. This consists in the power to suggest relation to the whole world, and so lift the object out of a pitiful individuality. In nature one doesn't come across individuals that are robustly independent from their environment, rather things are intimately interconnected with their surroundings in ways that we don't fully understand. Nothing is quite beautiful alone, nothing but is beautiful in the whole. All of these qualities of beauty seem to go beyond the mere impression of sensible forms that we started with, and what they require is what also served as the basis of